Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with another 2v2. This time me and John Ton are taking on Professor Pone and Black Iron battles, so let's get to the army compositions. We've got the High Elves and the Vampires, so Team Red Knights versus Team Other Elves here, so all Elves plus Vampires. Let's get to it. I've got Alario leading the High Elves here, a couple of Lyrian Reaver Archers, including the Heralds of the Wind, a couple more over there. We've got 3 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers with 4 Lothern Sea Guard, the Fireborn, and yeah, that's more or less it for the High Elves. For the Vampire counts, we've got Sternsmen and Graveguard, plenty of zombies, more Graveguard. We've got Blood Knights here with a Necromancer. Over here, hidden in the woods, we've got more Blood Knights, 2 more units, and Manfred von Manfred von Karstein. So, for the other Elfin Alliance here, we've got front line of Eternal Guards, second line of Witch Elves, War Dancers out to the flanks, 2 Black Dragons, one of them with Malekith atop it. We've got Spellsinger Lord of Life here, some Harpies, a couple of Shades with dual weapons, very interesting. 2 Spear Dancers, one of which is the Lorax Tricksters, Wardens of Kithral, some Dread Spears, and I'm assuming a Glady. I didn't quite catch, oh no, it's Orion. How about that, huh? So yeah, good stuff. Let's get the battle rolling. You can see right off the bat, the Illyrian Reaver is going to be pushing up and unleashing the arrows into the War Dancers, of course, a very high value target. War Dancers, Witch Elves, there's plenty of high value, low armor stuff to shoot at here, which is going to be great for the Illyrian Reavers. They're going to be able to generate tons and tons of value, though the Wood Elves are going to be responding here with some of their own Glade Guard, and yeah, a couple of Starfire Shafts here as well, but you can see Alario already starting to drop that Overcast Tempest on Malekith, and then the Bolt Thrower is going to be opening up shots directly on him as well. You can see them firing in here, making some solid contact with a few of them at least. And yeah, we're going to be able to skirmish out some really good damage here. You can see this unit of War Dancers already down to about half HP, so these Heralds of the Wind just generating such massive value there. We did get caught up a little bit, and I'm just healing some of the counter skirmish that's been done, but we're going to have to be careful of that Black Dragon as well. It's potentially risky here, but you can see the rush is coming forward, just about made it into range here, the Elf rush, and Illyrian Reaver's just narrowly pulling away here, and then the Blood Knight's going to switch places and follow up here, charge straight into those unbraced War Dancers, do a ton of shock damage, and yeah, they're pretty much done for. Granted, Eternal Guards are following up, and these zombies will get cut through pretty quickly by Witch Elves. That being said, we've still got the Lothern Sea Guard up on the hill with a commanding position, firing down into the light troops here. You can see we are currently focusing on the War Dancers here on the flanks, and another Overcast Tempest going down on Malekith there. You can see these Blood Knights charging into the unbraced Eternal Guards there, rather. It looks like a Soul Stealer going down on those Lyrian Reaver Archers. And yeah, John Ton was like, okay, I'm going to pull these guys away so these spears are unbraced. So I go ahead and charge through with the Fireborn, who want to pretend like they're Blood Knights. They definitely look very similar, but anyway, we're going to also follow up with some of the Reavers here and start to push through. Meanwhile, Reavers in the back line try to shut down the Shades there, and in the center, it's just all kinds of crazy with this grind out fight. We've got Witch Elves, Wood Elves versus the Undead Hordes here, holding the line for the High Elves up on the hill, and I can only imagine what kind of deal Alario had to make with Manfred for him to work with her, but kind of like the Paragon of Death and the Paragon of Life, I guess, working together. But anyway, Lothern Sea Guard temporarily turning their attention, obviously, to this Black Dragon that's landed amongst their midst. Meanwhile, Malekith is more or less shut down. A couple of the Bolt Throwers still able to fire at him, though. Should be seeing him off shortly. The back line we've also pushed through with the Reavers, getting onto the Shades here. Blood Knights also pushing through as well. So the Elite Cav army here definitely proving to be quite a bit for the lighter troops of the Dark Elves and the Wood Elves, although these Wardens of Kithral are going to be a very, very scary unit as long as they're not getting charged in the rear or something like that. But yeah, you can see the Black Dragon in the back line's just about offline. Looks like Orion using some of his foul magics, and the Vampire line is getting awfully thin here. You can see a lot of the Vampire infantry just about crumbled away at this point. Thankfully, though, we've been able to collapse a lot of the high-value stuff in the back line, get rid of a lot of the monsters, and so on. Both the Black Dragon's going to be offline. Actually, I say that. Malekith comes back from routing, of course, but this Black Dragon definitely offline. Alariel having to fight some harpies in the air, which is definitely not great, but she'll do okay. And as the last of the vampire troops crumble away here, we're going to try and keep shooting in with the Lothern Sea Guard from the back line, and with the light armor of all the elf troops here, they should be able to do some good damage. That being said, Eagle Claw bolt throwers are starting to get flooded, and at this point we can't really hold back the front line tide anymore. We're just going to have to wait for the Cav force to finish up its job in the back line and then come support. But you can see already, it looks like Graveguard have surrounded this pocket and are beating down the Eternal Guard and the Winterheart Guard. Looks like Witch Elves pushing back through the back line, though, pushing off these Lothern Sea Guards, so yeah, they're definitely not going to want to get involved with Witch Elves in melee. You can see Alariel also trying to pull away from these Harpies here, but they're being persistent and continuing to chase her down. We've got Blood Knights coming up in the back line too, being aided, of course, by the Fireborn, and there we go. A beautiful shot of them fighting side by side here. And yeah, man, two gorgeous units of Cav, two of the best units in general, in my opinion, at least in terms of looks. We've also got the Heart of Aberlorn, which, interestingly enough, does heal the undead. Not something you would exactly expect there, but here does it. I thought it was. Oh no, it is healing like these Turnsmen and these zombies and stuff, so wow, how about that, huh? Orion's still fighting in here, Wood Elf troops rallying to him, and the Witch Elves did manage to get into the back line and carve up the Lothern Sea Guard. You can see them giving up the fight here, especially with the Sisters of Singing Doom and the terror that they cause. They're going to be finishing off those Lothern Sea Guard there, so fortunately that's collapsed, but the balance power so far in our favor at this point. You can see Lyrian Reavers just chasing down routing skirmish units in the back line, where the Blood Knights, the Sternsmen, and most of the vampire troops just grind through the center here. More zombies being summoned to just continuously throw bodies at what remains of the Wood Elves here. You can see the Fireborn reforming for another charge there. Blood Knights also doing likewise, so beautiful stuff. Alariel still freaking out up in the air. Looks like she's going after this Spellsinger potentially. But yeah, just a matter of time here before the Elf Alliance gives up the fight, and life and death here will prevail, of course. I guess you could argue that the Wood Elves are kind of like the forces of life as well, but Orion doing his best to hold out like the true patriot that he is, but just the massive healing going down. All these units here getting that Invocation of the Heck. It doesn't actually apply to the living units, but still. We'll go ahead and fast forward, as it is just Orion fighting at this point, and yeah, our opponents are going to admit defeat very shortly. So well played to everyone involved. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. Definitely a lot of fun using the High Elves and the Vampires together. I know it's not thematic at all, but you get two of the units with the best, two of the factions with the best Cav units in the game. Between the Fireborn, regular Dragon Princes even are amazing, and then of course the Blood Knights. But yeah, in terms of the army breakdown there, Alariel getting 23, not too bad. Lothern Sea Guard did fairly well for themselves. The Reaver Archers also able to generate some really nice value, and 78 kills on the Fireborn, not too bad. Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, of course, helped deal with Malekith, which was great. For Jonton's forces, the Graveguard definitely paid off in the front line. 82, 70, 50, and 107 for the Sternsmen. The Blood Knights, of course, doing a ton of work as well. 91, 69, and 115. For Black Iron's Wood Elves here, 368 kills on Orion. I didn't quite catch it there at the end, but he did actually drop those spells when he was fighting in that big blob, which is where he got most of those kills from. But still, whew, man, that's a lot of kills. Lorix Trickster's doing okay, 89 kills, 67 on the Wardens of Kithrel, a lot of that coming against elite cavalry as well, so that's not bad at all. The War Dancers also did pretty decently in the front line, cutting through the vampire chaff. They were able to do so fast enough, unfortunately. Same thing for Professor Pone's army. You can see the Witch Elves all racked up a whole bunch of kills. Just wasn't quite fast enough. The Shades were a little bit of a gamble, and they ended up getting shut down by the cavalry pretty hard. The Black Dragon, able to get an XP chevron, but unfortunately did get taken out by the Lothern Sea Guard, and then Malekith got taken down by Alariel's magic, and then the Bolt Throwers also just pounding on his face as well. So a super fun battle. I'll have links to everybody's channels, if I can remember, down in the description below. All these guys have channels, so go check them all out for more Total War Warhammer multiplayer. Jonton, of course, a very, very good player. Black Iron Battles is actually the Blood Bowl commissioner for the Blood Bowl League I'm in, so if you guys want to see more Blood Bowl, his is the place to go. He also does Total War, of course, and Professor Pone. What can we say about the Professor of Pone? He does streams of Total War occasionally. Sometimes he'll do Blood Bowl. Sometimes, he's even done like Magic the Gathering, Arena, and some other games. So check out his channel as well. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.